Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Andrea.
Welcome back to Nerd News Today, and it's time for a statue review.
Yep, today we're looking at Diamond Select's Marvel Gallery Diorama Uncanny X-Men collection, this time featuring Beast.
That is a mouthful to say.
That really is!
That was rough, even for me.
That was painful!
Hopefully the statue will not be as painful. That's called a segue.
Oh my god, I thought that was one of those things that you go vroom vroom on.
That is also a segue. We got ourselves a Beast here. It's from Diamond Select. This is a tall-looking Beast. This ain't a thick boy Beast. This is a tall boy Beast.
Well, this is a vertical Beast, doing his vertical Beast things.
Exactly. Verticality, bestiality. Am I right?
No! No, you're not! Oh my god! What is wrong with you?
Where do I begin? So our Beast figure here has a very large window display on the front, as well as on the sides, and also on the top. There's our big old sunroof.
We love the sunroof.
We do. And one thing I don't love as much, though, is the color scheme of this box, actually. I'm a little not too into this transition from white to blue, this gradient effect. I would have just had pure blue.
It's a nice color, but at the same time, it's a little too dark. It doesn't pop the way that I would want it to for Beast.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Just one solid colored blue would have really been fine, actually.
On the back, you can see, as always, we have a picture of Beast looking, doing his agility thing. We have a nice long bio.
Very long bio.
Yeah, as you know, we've complained about the bios in the past. This is a pretty good wordy bio. It's
covers a lot of ground too.
It does cover a lot of ground, but without going too deep into it, some of the wording's a little funky. It's just bad wording regarding his early mutation and how he then became Beast. The quickie version is he started off looking human just with enlarged hands and feet, which gave him extra strength and agility. That's the quickie version, and that's not what they put on this, so it just sounds a little awkward, because then they kind of repeat it when they then talk about the science experiment, and I'm not a fan, to be honest.
At least they cover a lot of the information, though. Yeah. We'll give them that much.
No, they cover a lot of the information. They cover teams he's been on.
Pretty decent detail for the amount of space. Like, this is...
Yeah,
they've definitely gotten better lately with that. Yeah, they've really improved on that part of it.
Yeah, I'll give them a lot of credit for that. They still could work on their wording, but they're getting better. And as usual, it says who designed and sculpted it. It was designed by Caesar. We've seen tons of his work. We like his work. We like his work a lot. And it was sculpted by Sam Greenwell.
I don't think we've looked at too much that he's done before.
I don't think so either.
This will be good to check out how he works.
Yeah. We always like meeting the new people.
Yeah. But I think that's enough about the packaging. It's time to get our Beast loose and free and...
Yes, break it free. I want to play with him.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our Beast out of the package. Give him a look from all angles. So here's our Beast out of the package. He is just as tall still, even out of the box. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty tall Beast.
Yeah, you definitely have him in a fun Beast pose.
It is a really cool pose, actually. I like that he's doing the handstand with one hand. That's like a pretty iconic Beast position to be in.
It really is. I mean, I don't quite get what these bars are, but it looks like he's doing a Danger Room training.
Yeah, I think this is meant to be like him in the Danger Room. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Jubilee piece we looked at not that long ago, where she was in the Danger Room. I think this is, again, part of the same concept.
I know, but it's a weird kind of thing because it's hard to determine what exactly it is he's doing.
Yeah, it's like basically having some things fired at him, I would assume.
He's either firing or he's climbing something in a particular way. I don't know, and that part I'm not exactly thrilled about.
I think what would have helped is just adding a little bit of translucent pieces, because there's nothing translucent here. If they added like little translucent plumes of smoke, that would make it very clear what's actually happening and give it some energy of it being a projectile.
If it is in fact a projectile, because it might not be.
I think it is based on everything, but it would have been, just that one little thing would help make it clear.
I could easily see it though as being something that he's like trying to climb in different angles and different directions, almost like a rock climbing wall kind of thing. I could easily see it being something similar to that. So I don't know. I mean, it probably is something like projectile, but
So the pose, normally we start with the face, but the pose is so strong and so dominant in this piece in particular.
It's a great pose.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned him being on the one hand is because that's been a big selling point of the Beast figures that have come out, that both Diamond did and Hasbro's Marvel Legends line, rather. They've all been like very big on showing you that he could do the handstand with one hand.
Yeah.
So the fact they're doing it here, that's pretty awesome. They're doing a little bit of good, solid fan service.
Yeah, and besides, that's what Beast does.
Yeah.
He's known for his agility and his strength, so
they're really capturing the spirit of him here.
Oh, absolutely. But then it starts getting kind of funky.
So let's talk about that face. I think that's where the funky Beast begins.
Well, when I think of like 90s era, early 2000s, and 80s, 70s, whenever he started, I think of someone who's a little bit more lighthearted. I think of him who he can be very serious and he can be very animalistic and get angry and everything, but overall he's someone who has a good head on his shoulders. He has a good calming presence, and he knows a good joke when he hears one. I think of an educated man. This guy, I don't know. He kind of reminds me of the Joker.
Yeah, I think the face is a little bit off, and I wonder if part of that is because maybe it was sculpted the way you see it here. It may have been sculpted in this upside down way that kind of threw off our sculpting team.
Yeah.
Because if you do something going to be controversial here, if you flip him the other way around, you can kind of see his face a little better and the way it looks, and it's not really a beastie mouth. It's not really a beastie face.
That's a Joker mouth.
Yeah, his grin is a little too toothsome, and the expression is just not really beast either. It looks...
There's no laughter in his eyes.
Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe it's the eyes. They look kind of dead and kind of angry. This looks like if you had painted this gray, you'd have a really great dark beast figure. But as far as our blue beast goes, this is not quite there.
No, and speaking of blue beast, I actually really don't like how dark this is. I kind of wish they had used a slightly lighter blue, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a pop. Because again, when I think of Beast, yes, this is a shade that you've seen on him, but I want something a little brighter, to help him kind of stand out a little bit more.
Like, I think these are the same colors we got with the Beast action figure that Diamond did recently, which we liked also. And the face was also pretty good, but still a little bit angrier and beastier.
I feel like it had a little brighter blue in it.
It was brighter, yeah. There was more bright because of how it was done. Like, really the dominant blue here is more of the dark undertone of him.
Yeah.
And the blue fur that pops is, like, basically that's the highlight shade they added. So I think that's the difference is, like, the highlight shade is that blue we know him as, which is his skin tone, because you can see on his feet, that's the primary color of it. Whereas with the rest of the fur on his body, the primary shade really is the dark black, basically, is what it is. It's a very, very dark blue.
Yeah.
That's almost close to being like a gray black tone.
And I would just rather have him be a little bit of a brighter blue. I just feel like the things that make Beast were just kind of taken away from this.
Yeah, it's a very, very dark piece. And on that note, too, the fact that they're focusing on these lighter blue being the highlights here, there's not really any of that in his big fur patches either. It's just dark. And that's what I mean by that being such a dominant color is, like, he doesn't really have those highlights in other spots where I think it should have been. And would have made sense to put there.
But moving past that, I guess, physically, like, this is a dope body.
Yeah.
This is a dope body sculpt.
It's totally Beast's body. He's got the...
Oh, this is fantastic. You got the great musculature in his thighs, his calves, his feet look amazing, his back looks amazing.
Beast never misses leg day.
Hell no. I mean, you could see the carvings on his chest, you can see the definition there, but I really love his feet.
Yeah, his feet are really nice. Those are very, very appropriate Hank McCoy Beast feet.
Yeah, but I mean, just the fact that they have the lines on the heels, like in the in the arch and on the heel and everything, they just have some great detail work. And if there's one character that needs to have great feet, it's Beast.
That's a thing we said.
Yep. Things I never really expect to say in my life, but I say. But I mean, seriously, look at those lines.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. I think the anatomy on this is great. The muscles are great. Yeah. In terms of, like, powerful piece, dynamic piece, this hits all the points.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Good pose, good piece.
Yeah.
It's just, I think I knock a few points off just because of that face, though.
Yeah, that face makes it a little ugh.
So the base is not really the most interesting base. It's really just what you see here. It's just this round kind of space. Nothing really visually that crazy.
With the X logo. Don't forget the X logo.
It's got the little X logo because you have to have the X logo on it. But it does the job. And I think, again, their goal for this piece is really to keep the verticality of it. So they want it to be, these basically set the shape of the design of the character here. Yeah. So, yeah, they don't really want things jutting out of it as much. So I think it works just fine.
I think so, too. Ooh. Kill point.
Oh, those are nice and sharp, yeah.
Yeah, kill point. Oof, those are really sharp.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Paint job, we already talked a lot about the highlights of the beast's fur.
We talked about the color. But the paint job itself is a solid paint job.
It's definitely one of the cleanest ones we looked at, in fact. And that is a big compliment when you consider how much different weathering and tones are going on in this piece here. Yeah. There's very little schmutzing going on.
Yeah, I mean, even in the feet, there's some really nice contrast.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's contrast that we're seeing here.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that until just now, but there's some really nice stuff. And because it's darker, it also kind of works because, if he's walking on the ground, he might have some darkness on his feet.
Yeah, I mean, at worst, there's like a little bit of bleed from his gums onto his teeth. He's got bleeding gums, if you will.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. And this big toe has it's a little schmutzy because some of the blue paint kind of got onto it, but otherwise...
Some of the yellow on his belt also is not quite there, but yellow is a tough color to work with, especially right next to blue. I mean, it pops, but when you talk about, like, paints and pigments, yellow's always a tough one.
Yeah, but
it's very minimal.
Yeah,
it's like it's barely worth mentioning, really.
Yeah, I think the worst thing about this is the bleed on the teeth.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it looks really small. Like, I don't know if you guys could even really see it.
Very, very minimal.
But at the same time, if you saw it, you'd understand part of why I'm saying this is the Joker smile.
Yeah.
And not, or it's the bat who laughs kind of smile.
There you go, yeah. But it's very minimal. I mean, those are absolute nitpicks. Yeah, for the most part, most of our complaints are nitpicks with the exception of the face.
Yeah, the face is really the biggest issue.
But is that enough to, say, pass up the statue?
Again, it depends on how you feel about Beast.
Yeah.
If you're a Hank McCoy fan, this is definitely a good, addition to any collection. If you're doing it just to be a completionist, to have as many X-Men or, Avengers or Defenders or whoever you're trying to collect, again, not a bad piece to add.
Yeah, I think personally, even though I don't like the face as much as other Beasts we've seen, I'm still actually fine with it, to be honest. I'm actually okay with it.
Ooh, one thing that we haven't really talked about, the texture of this is, this is sick.
Well, he's furry, so yeah, you gotta have that furry-ish texture.
Yeah, but it's really good texture. I swear, it sounds like I'm Tarantinoing this. I swear I'm not, but his feet just feel really cool because of the way that the lines are, because of the texture that they gave. I mean, his nails are super long. You feel it, But overall, there's just really great texture to this piece.
So I think I would rank this Beast an 8 out of 10.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
I think it's a good piece to have for $50. That's also a great price
for
a very,
price point,
very dynamic piece. And I know most X-Men fans out there, if they're collecting pieces, they're trying to collect the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when you pair this Beast up with Jubilee, and I'm sure the others that they're going to make and others that have already come out, you've got a pretty good lineup. So that's our look at Beast from Diamond Select's Marvel Gallery PVC Figure Diorama Series. If you want to pick one up for yourself, you can use our Amazon affiliate link, which you can find in the description below. It helps us and costs you nothing extra.
Yeah, and let us know what you think. Would you want to add this piece to your collection?
And what do you think about that face?
Yeah, what do you think of that face, yeah?
So I'm Matthew.
I'm Andrea.
We'll see you guys here next time in Nerd News Today for more statue reviews, figure reviews, and everything else that happens here on the channel. See you next time.